When I get a new tube of toothpaste, it seems like I plow through 80% of it really fast. And then it gets down to like the last little bit where you're squeezing it out and you're having to like do some sort of like finger gymnastics to make the... And what I discover is that I get a new tube and then I'm nursing this old tube along for what seems like far longer than it took. Like the last 20% seems like it takes longer to use than the first 80%. And as I thought about this, I talked to some people about this observation, and what we came up with was when the tube is full, it's very likely that I use more toothpaste every single time I brush my teeth than when the tube is nearly empty. When it's full, I have all this capacity, like I can use as much toothpaste as I want. When it's getting down to the end, just subconsciously, I start to be a little more conservative with the toothpaste. I start to use a little less toothpaste maybe, and ultimately, I'm able to stretch what remains farther than I was stretching the beginning part because now I'm aware that it's finite. And like most of the things that I come share with you, I think there's a direct parallel between this toothpaste math and the way we look at the work we do. We often have a scarcity mindset or an abundance mindset, right? We look at the world, we look at our work, we look at our relationships, we look at these things and we say, there's either so much that I don't need to be concerned about ever losing it, or there is not enough and I need to be careful with every single little bit because I might lose it. And the more that we think about our work, we think about especially our capacity to do interesting and exciting work, to level up, to do better work, to do more interesting work, the more we think that we have a very limited capacity for that, the more likely it is that we are never going to take the risks that will lead us there, right? When we believe we have a ton of potential and that if we try this and if it doesn't work, we're gonna be just fine and we'll try something else, then we try lots of interesting things, we find the things that work for us, and we move and we grow. When we are constantly afraid that stepping out of line will cost us something, that if I try that and it doesn't work, I may be worse off than I was to begin with. When that's our default mindset, then what we end up with is we end up protecting the thing that we have and never reaching beyond that. So I think that toothpaste has something interesting to teach us about what it means to look at the world as a full tube of toothpaste or look at the world as that last little bit that we're trying to get out. Our subconscious is taking over and leading us down certain paths and having us filter the world in certain ways that make it appear different to us than maybe it does to the person sitting in the cubicle next to us.